Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Vivian Peterson. If you're new here, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit on the notification button so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Today, I will be talking about 10 cultural shock I got when I first moved to Denmark. And the very first one is the amount of bikes they have in Denmark. Oh my God. It's a lot of bikes here in Denmark that even when you go into the city, if you are not careful, you can be hit by a bike. That is how much there is bike in Denmark. So in Denmark, 9 out of Danes cycles every day. 9 out of Danes. And the average Danes, they cycle for like 1.4 kilometers every day. That is a lot. So each time you visit Denmark and you come into the Copenhagen city, please be careful so you don't get hit by a bike. Okay. And the second one is is that you can actually leave your child outside a restaurant, your baby outside a restaurant or outside a shop. So for example, you have a stroller and your baby is sleeping. You can just leave your baby outside the restaurant, put a monitor so you can hear the baby when the baby is crying, and then you go inside the restaurant, eat and have fun. And when you go out there, your baby will still be waiting for you. That was a cultural shock for me. When I first had my first son, so my husband said, okay, I think it was he was few weeks old. And my husband said, okay, you know what? Every time you go for a walk and you come back, just leave the baby outside the balcony. Let him sleep. All right, what? No way. I mean, talking from where I come from, you can't do that. You can't leave your child outside your balcony, you know. After deliberating on the issue, I said, okay, let me give it a try. Trust me, the first few days I tried that. Every minute, every second, I was always going to by the window and checking, is my child still there? Is my baby still there? It was funny, but it happened. So that was a shock for me. So it was an amazing experience anyways. The third one is work-life balance in Denmark. Here in Denmark, every worker in Denmark has 5 weeks of holiday. And these 5 weeks of holiday, you can spread it all through the year, where you have holidays with your kids and your husband and your wives. So this make it work-life balance. So you can actually work and also have time for your kids. And most of the time, you can see some Danes, they close 4 o'clock, some close 3 o'clock. And when they are done from work, they still have time with their kids. Sometimes they go to the football training, or sometimes they go to swimming lessons with their kids, or dancing lessons. They still have time for family. This is so amazing. It's awesome. And the fourth cultural shock that I got in Denmark was the directness of the Danes. Danes, they are so direct. They tell you how things are, and they don't care wasting time in politeness. They just tell you the way it is and how they feel. And they also have this what they call dark humor. And they don't really care if you are offended with the humor. They just go do what they like. They are very direct. They tell you as it is, and they give you advice as it is. So they are not partial. They are not partial in giving you advice or telling you if this is good or not. They just tell you. And the fifth one, the number 5, is that their metro is automated. What this means is that they don't have driver in their metro. That was a big shock for me. The first time I got in the metro, I was looking for the driver. Seriously, I was actually looking. There is no driver. Oh, I was scared. I was like, what happens if we just sorry, but that was a shock to me, that that the metro stop when it needs to stop and drive when it needs to drive. I was so shocked about that. And the sixth cultural shock I got in Denmark is that smartphone and credit cards are king in Denmark. In Denmark, you need a smartphone to survive. You know what I mean by that? Here in Denmark, we have what we call Mit ID. It can be translated to English as my identity. And we have it as an app on our phone. So with this app, we can be able to make online payments. We can be able to access mails from the government, from our schools, and from companies. So if you don't have a smartphone, you can't use this app and you cannot access anything here in Denmark. You can't even access your online banking. You are basically nothing without this app. And without the smartphone, you can't have this app. So smartphone is a king in Denmark. So let me tell you an incident that I had like a few months ago. My phone all of a sudden just got broken and the screen couldn't function, so I have to take it to the place where I bought it because it was just less than a month old. Sorry, less than 9 months old I bought it. So they gave me a new phone. They gave me a phone that I could use while they repaired my phone. So I tried to download my Mit ID on my phone, on the phone they gave me, but I couldn't access it. So I have to book an appointment to go to the city hall. And I have an appointment in 1 week. And in that 1 week, I'm living here in Denmark and was like, I'm not existing because I couldn't access my online banking. I couldn't access my mails. If I got mails from school, from government, from companies, I could not access anything. It was like I was not existent in Denmark. So, but luckily I got it fixed and I could access everything. And why I said credit card is also another thing. Here in Denmark, everywhere they use credit cards. And it took me weeks or months to even get to see the Danish kroner the first time when I moved to Denmark. Because everybody just go to the shop and then you don't even need to put your PIN code most of the time. Most of the time you just put your card against the POS and it just read, and your money, they take their money. That was a cultural shock for me, because where I come from, we still have this cash. We still have to pay with cash and all of that. But here is almost everybody uses cards, credit cards. And the seventh, if I'm correct, the seventh cultural shock for me in Denmark was that they are all about equality. They have this law they call gender law. It's not really a legal law. It's not a law that they put into like you have to obey this law. It's not legal, but it's just a law that we are all taught in the school, that you don't have to think that you're better than me, and I don't have to think that I'm better than you. So it's a law that everybody is equal. Everybody has to be equal, both man and woman. Even if you are rich or poor, everybody is equal. That is what they say. And most of them, they follow those rules. And then they are not people that brag about what they have. They just live their life simple. They don't have to please anybody. They don't live to please anybody. And I love that kind of lifestyle. You just do you. Yeah. And number 8 cultural shock I got in Denmark when I first moved here was the high tax. we here in Denmark we pay a lot of tax. We pay high tax, and then we pay. I think Denmark is one of the countries that pay highest tax in the world, and then we pay 25% VAT in everything we buy. And also here in Denmark, an average Dane pays about 45% income tax, and all this tax goes to the government, which they use to better the country. They use it for roads, they use it for hospitals. And here in Denmark, we don't need to pay when we go to the hospital because we already pay through our tax. But it's not every operation that is free. You have to pay for some of the operations. And yeah, and I think also they use it for what they call welfare, whereby there are some people who cannot afford food. They call it contant year. They help them, they pay them every month a certain amount of money. And also if you're going to school here, if you have take education here in Denmark, there are certain amount of money you get every month just by going to the school. So these taxes are going to these things. And I mean, come on. We have good roads, electricity and everything. Even we have to pay for the electricity. But most countries will pay for electricity, like my country. Well, you don't get the light. You don't get the electricity. Okay? And then the number 9 thing that shocked me in Denmark was their love for their flag. Oh my God. Danes love their flag. I think because this flag is said to have fell miraculously to them when they were fighting the last leg in a battle, and which encouraged them to fight better and end in a joyful way. And this flag is being used everywhere on every celebration. If there is any birthday, marriage, wedding, anything you call celebration, you will see the Danes putting the flags around their houses, on the streets, just for people to know that, okay, this is a celebration day, this is my birthday, or it's really amazing. The love for their flag is so amazing. And the 10th one, the number 10, is the confidence and trust they have for each other. I mean, the first time I noticed that they really trust each other, they love each other, and they have confidence in each other was when I first left my baby outside the restaurant while we were eating in the restaurant, and there was a monitor inside the baby's van, so I could hear the baby cry, right? So with you having to go into the restaurant, eat and take your time, and come outside, your child is still there, this is trust. They trust each other that nobody's going to take another person's child and run away with it. And trust me, if you do that here, you'll be caught in 2 minutes. Yeah, so it's so amazing that they have this trust and confidence in each other. And also, for example, when you borrow a book in the library and you have to insert your CPR number, which is our personal number, and then you can return it by yourself whenever you it's so amazing. I can talk a lot about the cultural shock I got coming to Denmark, but if I have to say all of it, we will not live here today. But thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you on my next episode or in my next video. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe, share, like. Thank you for watching today's video, and stay tuned. You are blessed. Bye.